So here you have your pod, and this is what I do. I get a little file like this, little flat one, and just start filing along this plane here. Just keep going, try and get it nice and flat, but you want to take just a little bit of material off, and it's the same on this side. So what we want to try and do here is stop the motor from clicking in. And when it clicks in, what it does is it puts pressure on the plastic and it can make the plastic warp. And that's not what we want. So I've actually previously done this one. So also what you need to do is get into this end with a half round file and take a bit off the sides here. Don't take any off the base here because that will adjust the height of the motor. You want to keep that the same. So if you take anything off, you want to take it off the top bits here. I also tend to file out a little bit here for where the motor lug goes, just to give myself a little bit more room. But so once you've done that, you'll find there's some of the crap there. When you put your motor in, it should not click in. It should just drop in nice and smooth. Yep, and look at that movement. It's got some nice movement. So when I glue that in, it's going to be under no stress whatsoever, and it will make sure the pod is nice and flat, and it will give us the best result. Also, with most of my pods, I always try and get rid of any possible burrs. So I've got a drill here, and I'll go like this and get rid of any burrs that could possibly be there, as that's quite an important spot where the float of the pod will be determined. And I do the same on the chassis as well. And I also get a little blade and just scrape around the edges, make sure there's no burrs, as well as doing all around the pod, which is a pretty common thing that lots of people know. But you also got to make sure these tabs have no little binding burrs or anything that can slow them down from making them float. So that's an important thing as well. Here I have an example of a NSR angle wind pod, and it's just got the brass bearings in it. Now the issue with these I do glue them in and they do work quite well, but in my proper race cars I use a slotting plus mono bush, because that's a full cylinder that runs between the two, which keeps everything aligned. Because sometimes when these things can spin, and with the torque generated by these motors, what can happen is the pod can twist and it'll stop the alignment of these bearings. So I'll show you the slotting plus mono bush that I run in my cars, and I find it's a much better option. Here's an example of the pod with one of the slotting plus mono bushes in it now. These are great because they have the bearings built into the pod. So when you stick this tube in, the bearings are already inside it. And if any time it actually has to twist or do anything like that, everything's going to remain aligned. So this is a good advantage. The only thing is though, these come in 332, like 2.38, and NSR axles and gears are 2.37. So you may need to run a slotted axle or a 2.38 slotting plus sideways, any of them brands in there, and then possibly ream your rims and your gear out to fit that axle. But yeah, this is a definite handling advantage if you can run one of these in your pods. One thing you need to watch out for when you race on magnet track, either with magnetic braid or steel plastic track, is some people will try and gain an advantage by filing out the bottom of the motor hole here and here at the back. What that'll do is make the motor sit down through the pod more, and it'll make the motor poke out of the bottom here, and that'll get the motor closer to the track and give them a better handling advantage with the magnets of the motor. I personally don't like magnet racing, and I think it promotes a lot of loopholes and cheating, but that's one thing you need to watch out for, as others quite often will be doing it to gain an advantage. Now when it comes to weight placement, I like to run some lead in my pod. Because the pod's the bit that has the drive for the car, that helps keep everything a little bit more secure and settled down to the track. But this is quite a lot of weight in here. I think this is about 7.5 grams. I also run a little bit at the front, just behind the guide, to stop it from lifting under power. But sometimes I won't run this at all. and I might run a small bit behind the motor. I find that sometimes I can run less weight if I position it correctly, like underneath the axle, so that way the tyres bite into the surface of the track a little bit more. So that gives me the same performance as this does, but with half the amount of lead weight, which is a good thing because then your car will be faster because you're not carrying as much weight. So when it comes to lead though, all tracks are different, so you need to find out what suits your track, but this is what works for me. Now with the front end of any NSR car I run these spacers inside the mounts here. So this is like an example, I'm just using one off of a Formula 1, but I don't tend to run one that long. That's just so you can see what I do with it. So what I'll do is I'll push it into this bearing mount here, so I'll push it inside it. So these screws from the top and the bottom do up onto that, not onto the axle. So what that'll do is that'll get rid of some of the slop in the front end, because NSR cars tend to come with quite a bit of slop because they're made to go on plastic track, but when you run on wood track you want to make that stiff. Now what I do with all my cars is I colour in the bottom of my guide. So I'll either use a white paint pen on a black guide, or a red one or a black one on a white guide. So that way, if it's sitting too deep into the actual lane, that should rub away. And if that happens, then I need to take some depth off my guide, because if it's sitting on the bottom of the lane, then your braid won't be sitting correctly and you'll be losing power. So that's a real simple tip. So just take like a pen with you to the track and do that, and that could be one of the reasons why your car's not performing as well as it should be.